So I'm Dennis Coyne, and I do coaching and consulting with lawyers and judges, and I'm a lawyer. Born and raised in Minneapolis, went to college here, undergraduate degree in psychology. Became a lawyer because I wanted to make a difference. It was the Kennedy era, and I wanted to make a difference. Went to law school, went into the Peace Corps, went into legal services, went into government for many years, and because I thought the grass was greener, I went into private practice for, again, many years, and then later into coaching. I was chair of my environmental law department at a major law firm, and legislative reform took bites out of my practice. So the cleanup of gas stations became a reimbursable activity for those who volunteered. So my clients all became volunteers. Landfill cleanups, they all became volunteers. Dry cleaner owners all became volunteers. It's a very good thing to become a volunteer, but there's not much of a role for lawyers. So my practice began to dwindle, and my law firm said, you need a coach to figure out your way forward. So I interviewed coaches, and finally one said to me, maybe you want to become a coach. Your interest in psychology, your love of the profession, why don't you knit those two together and be of some resource or some help for people? When I was a newly minted coach and still very active in the practice of law, I went to a conference of lawyers. And at break, one of the lawyers who had overheard that I was a coach came up to me, stabbed his finger in my chest and said, "And so what does a coach do?" Well, it was really a grab for me to have this guy in my face with his finger pressing into my flesh. So I hadn't thought about it, but I did have an answer, and that is, a coach rides shotgun. Well, at that, he withdrew his finger, stepped back a pace, and asked me what did that mean. And I said simply that the client has a place to go, and the client is crossing a new territory. The question for the client is, can I avoid ambush? Can I make the way through this new uncharted territory? Who might be a guide for me? So I am that guide for those who want to bring me on board. So they extend their hand, they let me up into the coach, they continue to hold the reins, you see. And the destination is their choice, not mine. But I can be a resource, and I am for those people. So people are in transition. They want to be in a place that they're not. They want to step into a place of responsibility and impact where they are. And the question is, how can they do it? Or they're stuck and they don't see a way out. And most of us don't have anybody who listens to us, is really the truth of it. We're in conversation, you speak, I speak, you speak, I speak. It's like a tennis volley. But no one's really listening and no one's really challenging. So that's my job. So people come to me and they want to make a transition, and I help them do that. And I'm a resource, so my contacts are available to them to reach out into, to interview, for example. I'll be helpful in any way I can, but the real objective is that they understand the way forward. Why are they doing this? What is their purpose in doing it? How do they see themselves, and how do they see themselves who they are today, rather than who they've always been, or who their friends say they are, and all of that. So we want them to become current in their own story. When I do my coaching, I am a lawyer in this activity of coaching. So I bring my lawyer skills to bear. And what are those? Storytelling is one central skill. Understanding the facts, so we have some sense of the facts. And also I understand some of the blind spots that many lawyers have, because we've been so acculturated into the head. And we become, over the years, many of us, pretty much ignorant of what the body can tell us, how the body can inform us in our way forward. So that's part of what I do, is to integrate the mind and the body. But I understand something about that need for integration, having practiced law for 35 years. The reason I work principally with lawyers and the judiciary is really twofold. First, I am a lawyer, and I am very proud to be a lawyer. Not pride-filled, but I really love the profession. So I am a lawyer, and I love the profession. And the contribution that I make, I want to be in this field. So that's why my focus is on the law. I think it's important to know, if you work with a coach, that the coach loves the profession and doesn't somehow see herself as simply an exit out of the profession. People that I work with typically stay in the profession. Some of them as pro bono lawyers, if they're going to take some other area of interest as their principal focus. But I don't know that I've ever had a client who's left the profession altogether. It's not my ambition for the client that they stay, but it's not certainly my ambition or expectation that they would leave. When hiring a coach, I think it's important also to be wary of whether the coach wants to do a makeover on you. So that I tell clients I do not do makeovers. The idea is that you be who you are, not that you be in some image that I hold for you. So I don't do makeovers. So I think to summarize on the coach side of things is that they have been successful in the career, if they are a lawyer, that they have been successful in some way that you believe is success, and that they also be certified, that there be a sense of integrity to them, so that at the end of the day you can trust them. You can go on an edge with them. Because if the coach is any good, she'll ask you questions that you don't know the answers to. And then your choice will be to go on that edge, that inquiry with her, or to step back and not go there. And if you step forward and pursue that edge, that's where the juice is. That's where the learning is. So at the end of the day, it's a very trusting and provocative relationship. Also one with some humor and levity to it. So it's not just grim work. Yeah, because I love the profession, and because I've had friends who've gone to Bosnia as judges and gone into other parts of the world where there is no rule of law, and as we read about Iraq and places of war where there is no opportunity for justice other than your tribe fighting their tribe for your benefit, that's when I become alive in the way that I value the law. And also for the benefit that I've been able to give my own clients over the years by having access to the law, and in most recent years in doing pro bono work. So I love the profession, and my orientation is that way. So I think it's important that a person hiring a coach have some sense of whether the person on the other side of the coaching relationship loves the law, appreciates the law for what it is. Not a cheerleader for all aspects of the law, but really one that loves the law too, so that we can really honor this profession as we go.